Did you know that narcissists make up about 1% of the general population, yet their influence can be overwhelming? Today, we're diving into how you can spot a narcissist, and more importantly, protect yourself from their manipulation. Welcome to Dark Psychology. Today, we're diving into a complex, shadowy world that's right in front of us: narcissism. Picture this. You meet someone who's magnetic. They seem confident, charming, almost larger than life. But as time goes on, you start feeling different, unsettled, like there's something beneath the surface you can't quite put your finger on. We're going to explore what makes a narcissist tick, their traits, their tactics, and how they operate in everyday life. By the end, you'll not only recognize narcissists, but also have a toolkit to protect yourself. Ready? Let's start by uncovering the subtle traits that make them stand out. First up, grandiosity. Imagine a colleague, the one who's always talking about their achievements, but not just any achievements. They're single-handedly saving projects, changing the game, or destined for greatness. And 4. Narcissists believe they're superior, often boasting and exaggerating their importance. This isn't just confidence, it's a strong sense of entitlement, a deep-rooted belief that they're better than everyone else. Then there's the lack of empathy. Empathy allows us to understand and connect with others. But narcissists? They're so focused on themselves that they rarely notice anyone else's needs. You might see this with a friend who, when you're struggling, somehow shifts the conversation back to them. Your problems barely register because, to them, their own are always more pressing. And let's not forget the constant need for admiration. Narcissists crave validation. They surround themselves with people who fuel their ego, even manipulating situations to stay in the spotlight. Studies show they have an intense hunger for praise, and they'll go to great lengths to keep that attention flowing. Ever wonder why so many narcissists gravitate towards social media? It's like an endless supply of admiration right at their fingertips. But their tactics go beyond seeking praise. Narcissists use manipulation to maintain control, boost their fragile self-esteem, and keep others in their orbit. These tactics can be subtle, hard to spot until you're in deep. Let's look at a few of these methods so you can recognize them before they take hold. Gaslighting. A tactic so powerful it can make you question your own reality. Imagine someone consistently denying things they said or accusing you of being too sensitive. Slowly, you start doubting your memory, your reactions, maybe even your sanity. Over time, you might feel like you're imagining things, like your perception is off, and that's exactly what the narcissist wants, to make you dependent on their version of reality. Another tactic: love bombing. In the beginning stages of a relationship, a narcissist might overwhelm you with attention, affection, even grand gestures. It feels flattering, like you found someone who truly gets you. But it's a tactic, a way to make you dependent on them. And once you're hooked, their behavior shifts, the affection fades, and the real game begins. Finally, narcissists are skilled at playing the victim. They might twist situations to make themselves appear blameless, even when they're at fault. This tactic helps them avoid accountability and gain sympathy, shifting blame onto others in the process. It's subtle, but you might recognize it if you've ever felt manipulated into apologizing for something that wasn't really your fault. Before we move on to ways you can protect yourself, if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. It helps us bring you insights you can use. Let's get back to it. Now that we understand the traits and tactics of narcissists, let's talk about how you can protect yourself. First and foremost, set boundaries. Narcissists push limits. They'll take as much as you're willing to give. That's why being clear and firm about what you will and won't tolerate is essential. For example, if a narcissistic person is demanding too much of your time or crossing personal boundaries, state what's acceptable, directly and firmly. Another powerful tactic? Limit personal information. Narcissists often use personal details as leverage. They might take sensitive information you've shared and twist it to suit their agenda. So, keep things minimal. If you're dealing with someone showing narcissistic traits, avoid sharing things they could later use to manipulate you. And don't overlook the importance of self-care and support networks. Narcissists tend to isolate their targets, pulling them away from friends, family, anyone who could provide perspective. Staying connected with supportive people, a friend, a family member, a therapist, can give you clarity and validation when the narcissist tries to distort reality. Lastly, one of the most powerful protections you have is to detach emotionally. Remember, their opinions don't define your worth. Practicing emotional detachment can help reduce the influence they have over your mood and actions. This isn't about ignoring or suppressing your emotions. It's about refusing to let a narcissist dictate how you feel about yourself. Let's recap what we've uncovered today. We started with the classic traits of narcissists: grandiosity, lack of empathy, and a relentless need for admiration. Then we delved into their manipulation tactics: gaslighting, love bombing, and playing the victim, all designed to maintain control. And finally, we explored strategies to protect yourself, setting boundaries, limiting personal information, staying connected with a support network, and practicing emotional detachment. By understanding these traits and tactics, you're one step closer to spotting narcissists before they take hold, and more importantly, to keeping your sense of self intact. Thanks for joining us on Dark Psychology. Stay sharp, stay aware, and most of all, stay in control.